On today's broadcast, I want to bring two thoughts together. One is what we've talked about already the first 2 days of the week, about what James says about why are there wars in this world? And why do people do ugly things to one another and want to kill each other and murder and all these things? And Jesus says, or James says, it's a condition of the heart. And he says that out of the condition of the heart, basically saying this, is that people live in the flesh realm. A good majority of society is not even aware that there is a spiritual world. They're not aware that they are spiritual. And so they live their lives accordingly, and that's why they're giving themselves over to the enemy to lead them into these destructive things. But now the second thought that I want to bring in here is the fact that what is the counterbalance here? Well, it's obviously teaching and instruction. People who would learn from reading the Word, hearing the Word proclaimed, that there is a spiritual world, that they're a part of it, whether they realize it or not, because they're spiritual, they are God-breathed, and so they have the ability to walk in this Spirit, but they just don't realize it. But Jesus, in his teachings, as he looked out over humanity, he said, man, the fields are white. Now, what did he mean by that? He said, look, basically this, there's a lot of carnal people out there who are totally unaware of spiritual activity, spiritual God, that they are spiritual. They're just totally unaware. They're living in a spiritual world. And Jesus says, pray to the Lord of the harvest that he would send forth laborers to the harvest. Now, these laborers would have to be people who are instructed, people who are aware. They're aware that they are living in a spiritual world, and they're able to teach this to other people. But what Jesus said, he said the laborers are few. And that's a sad commentary to make, but he said the laborers are few. There's just not enough people who are tuned in, dialed in, walking in the Spirit to teach and instruct. Well, one of the things that concerns me in the Christian church that I'm a part of is that so often the opportunities to teach the children, they're not taking the opportunity. And it's not just to say, well, there should be more teaching and instruction in the church. No, moms and dads. I think of the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 11, where this says that in your house, when you're walking down the street, every opportunity that you find, you're teaching and instructing, telling your children about God, about spiritual things, about your experience in Christ. It's a powerful concept. And I believe the church, we need to make this a goal. This is Pastor Jack King with the gospel on the radio broadcast.